just love that in a movie called Jennifer's Body, we never actually see Jennifer's body. Nice. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss Jennifer's Body. Now this movie is from 2009 and it stars Megan Fox. Now before I get into why this movie was not at all appreciated in 2009 and why it should be all day every day today, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss all things appreciating female horror. I tell y'all all the time on this channel, when females step in front and behind the camera and do a little writing on these little scripts and whatnot, the horror gets real. It gets real in these horror streets. Appreciate this.
Go back.
Now that you guys have hopefully subscribed to see more of me, let's get into this movie. But before we jump into the video, I have to give a shout out to the person who paid for it and requested this movie. If you happen to get your whole Jennifer and Needy life, it's not because of me, it's because of this person right here. Thank you so much for supporting me and paying for this content. You know I love me some good horror. Now, for starters, unlike a lot of horror films, this one was created by two women. One being the director, Karen Kusuma, who also directed the horror movie The Invitation from 2015, which was a really good horror movie. The movie was also written by Diablo Cody, who wrote on films like Juno and Tully. They were outside for this film and they did a wonderful job. Now, I vividly remember going to see this movie in 2009 and I absolutely loved it. 2009 was a good fucking year for horror, and I remember being outside for this film along with movies like The Orphan, The Last House on the Left, Drag Me to Hell, The Collector, Zombieland, Coraline. Yes, Coraline is a horror movie. It was a really good year. And the trailer for the movie did nothing to help or draw anybody in. I don't remember everything from that trailer in 2009, but I remember the kiss being there, the tussle that they have in the bed being there, making this not really look like a horror movie that has, you know, elements of darkness, that dark humor, horror, this really specific story to tell, kind of changing up dynamics. No, it just looks like this girl-on-girl horror movie where Megan Fox is going to appear naked, and it is anything but that. I was like, wow, we are getting Ginger Snaps moment 2.0. I love Ginger Snaps as a movie, and this reminded me of that so much, and I loved it and thought that this was going to be some big film at the movies. It wasn't. Now we begin the story here with Needy as this rowdy, institutionalized kicker. Now right away, with the perception of the film, you would feel like this is our villain and this is the person that we need to look out for. But no, actually, Needy is the sweetest of sweet bestie to Miss Megan Fox. Now, Megan Fox here as Jennifer, this was maybe the first role that I saw her and I felt like, oh, she could do a little bit more than be sexy. She could be gross, she could be dark, she could be enchanting. I liked it. Now, as soon as the story starts, you immediately identify with Needy's boyfriend and why she would even be friends with someone like Jennifer. At which Needy doesn't quite understand it herself. Needy is clearly here to be that sidekick, that plain Jane, unassuming friend that's always by Jennifer's side so that she looks like the cute, adventurous, sexy one. You know, those friends. Don't be that kind of friend. Now, everything changes for the worse when a band comes to town and a promiscuous Jennifer is in love. Meanwhile, they are a part of some satanic ritual and they want to sacrifice a virgin to further their careers and grow in popularity. These guys are so evil that as soon as they start playing, the whole bar burns down. And an entranced, sexualized Jennifer leaves with them, leaving Needy all alone, leaving Needy to break girl code rule number 1. Bitch, if we came together, we leave together. Everybody knows that. Now, of course, this leads to Jennifer being sacrificed and her coming back as this demonic entity. Now, despite all of that and all of the great comedy that we get in between there, and you know, them even thinking that Jennifer is a virgin and she's the furthest thing from it, a virgin. I'm not even a backdoor virgin. And yeah, that hurts. Ow. Like, oh, Needy, it smells like Thai food in here. Have you guys been fucking? Like, it's a whole lot of good comedy here. But what strikes me most is the switch up in the character traits and tropes that we normally get in other horror movies. We have Jennifer here, who is clearly that typical promiscuous teen, and we all know what happens to promiscuous teens in horror movies. That is a guarantee that you are going to die a horrible death with your titties out. You know, it just happens that way, but not here at all. Not only is Jennifer promiscuous, but this leads to her being sacrificed, which leads to her coming back for her revenge and being this succubus, this demonic thing in the first place. It's really just about her. It's not at all about her sexuality. And we even have Needy here, who is totally like our innocent little wide-eyed blonde final girl. But Needy is not virginal. She is not even a virgin. Needy has a boyfriend and she is fucking here. It's refreshing. Now, immediately when we have Jennifer return and scare the dog shit out of Needy and, you know, throw up all like that exorcist regurgitate black mass ass puke all over Needy and the whole situation, the film really gets good. But that's when we get more into the sexualized aspect of their friendship, which I feel like the movie could have done without, and if we would have really just threw those things away and not even given them the opportunity to have any divisive shit to put in the trailer to really focus on what this movie was trying to do. I know that the open sexuality aspect is more about, you know, women's openness and independence and being free to explore different things about your sexuality. But like when we have Jennifer come in and she's clearly hungry and she's different and she's like this close to Needy's neck. Are you scared? Like, yeah. Like, okay, yeah. We really didn't need that. That was more divisive than really useful to me, especially with the bigger picture that this movie is trying to do. But other than that, I really like the aspect and the switch up of Megan Fox here as Jennifer. She really does an amazing job as this unaware, selfish, shallow teenager. And what's really funny to me is that her thought process doesn't seem to change very much than it did before she was a fucking cannibal, because eating boys is so yummy and it gives her this luminous beauty. And Jennifer is not looking to look like some totally wasted spaz. Like, I look all icky and my hair is all like I love more of those aspects more than anything. You know, everybody around the school being so sad and in mourning. Meanwhile, Jennifer is bouncing around like a cool breeze while Through the Trees plays in the back. Through the Trees was low-key a bop. But those aspects and the whole just sexualizing women's bodies and how Jennifer appears in other, you know, male gaze as perspectives, and how she's able to entrap these dudes so easily. Meanwhile, she's this cannibal, demonic ass beast ready to eat you to sustain health and beauty. The way that we see her prey on these guys and entrap them, and it just doesn't take any real effort, and it just goes to show how far some promiscuous, the thought of maybe sex, some tits and a smile can get you. The whole entrapping the guy in the woods, the little emo dude with the hair in the house, like the effort that they went through just for the aspect of I might get some from Jennifer was absolutely ridiculous. Did you see homeboy with the emo hair, a little innocent boo? went around the house, jumped through the window, up the stairs. Jennifer, like, everything just immediately felt like an unsafe situation, but just because it was Jennifer, nobody fucking blinked. What I also love about those moments is when we see her pretty much kind of come out of her shell, her clothes. She begins to devour people, like that really good scene where she washes herself off in the lake. We never actually see her body. We don't see anybody's body here. There are no real elements of, full frontal boob shots or ass shots as we do see in horror movies. They love to explore the female anatomy or exploit the female anatomy in horror movies, but you never see that, even all the way down to Needy, who has sex in the film. We don't see her. We don't see any parts of Jennifer's body. The movie is really, really detailed with strong elements of comedy. I love all the parents' reactions to their children being murdered, all the teens around the school hovering over the song that actually murdered Jennifer in the first place. Like, it's a really funny movie, all the way down to where we casually have Jennifer telling Needy about how the incident actually occurred and what happened to her coming back, and why she's this demonic thing in the first place and how she feels about it, because she already suspects that she may be the reason why the boys are disappearing. It's really funny how they tie her up and she's begging for mercy and they're singing through the trees and shit. I'm like, don't you want to be Adam Levine from Maroon 5? That shit was very 2009. But not even just that, those aspects of them hovering over Jennifer being a virgin, and all just like, are you a virgin? You're like, yes, I'm a virgin, because that means you're gonna let me go. That horror trope in movies, me being virginal, me being non-promiscuous, makes me special, so yes, I'm a super duper virgin, when in the end that's what actually killed her and had her come back. Being a virgin means nothing here in this horror film, when normally it means everything. And the movie being really, really original reigns all the way through with every single character, especially down to Needy and her relationship with Jennifer and her boyfriend. I really love her relationship with Chip, because in any other horror movie you would see the boyfriend instantly believe the girlfriend, investigate with her, be by her side, protect her, sacrifice himself for her. We don't really see that here. You see him just downright ignore Needy, feel like she's crazy. I just want to go to the dance. Can we just have sex? Can you just not be her friend at all? And in the end, she really ends up trying to rescue him. That is a complete role reversal. Needy just finding clues. We have to have that infamous, fact check, and her trying to figure out exactly what's wrong with Jennifer. Normally there is a companion there to help along, because God forbid a woman do anything without a man, you know what I'm saying? No, not in this film. Needy gets the courage to do what she needs to do and be who she needs to be, and really figure out the type of friend that Jennifer is, the friend that we knew she was all alone before her ass got bit, all by herself. So in the end, we are left with a Needy discovering herself, learning to stick up for herself, and realizing what their friendship really means all by herself. And we also end with that goddamn dance with the ugliest prom dresses that you would ever want to see, and her rescuing her boyfriend Chip. I love how we show that even though Chip was supposed to be, special and only be with Needy, in the end he fell for that same trap that all the other boys were falling for with Megan Fox characters, because in the end it was all about one thing. And when he finally got the revelation, it was a little bit too late. But I love the fight that we have with them and how teenage it is and all the angst, and she can fly, she's just hovering, it's not that impressive. Damn it, Needy, do you have to play down everything I've ever done since we were little? You're such a player hater. Like, got a tampon? No. You're so icky lately, I thought you might be plugging. Like, those are the great moments, those really good teenage moments, those good defining moments, just to say that, hey, even a girl like Jennifer, one of the more popular girls, isn't the most self-confident throughout the movie. You could see that even before her getting bit or whatever, she just always had a underlining of jealousy for Needy. Her boyfriend wanted her to look a little dowdy, cover up her breast, that's her trademark. Jennifer was never really that good friend. or even all the way down to the end, which once again, like the whole makeout situation and them rolling around in the bed, even the murder scene with her on top of her, like we really could have kept that. I didn't feel like those were absolutely necessary and distracted from what we were really trying to see. I didn't really come here for a girl on girl action. This is a really great horror movie, but that they were mindful enough not to just let her, you know, just roll on top of her and stab her. You know what this is? It's a box cutter. It's for cutting boxes. Like, it wasn't just about her, you know, straddling her. She snatched off that best friend necklace, and that's when she really, really died, when Needy took back her friendship. Or even that there aren't any real deep conclusions here because nobody knew about the situation. So for all we knew, you just stabbed your best friend in the bed. Now your ass is locked away. But we have her pretty much changed forever. She escapes and goes to get her vengeance from through the trees and fucking murders everybody in the hotel room. And we end out with Courtney Love's Holes Violet. And the sky was made of amethyst, and all the stars were just like little fish. You should learn when to go. You know, we love us some Hole. We love us some Courtney Love. But it's a really good ending to a really solid film that I'm glad found appreciation now because it didn't get any appreciation then. Well, you guys, that was my review for Jennifer's Body. I hope you enjoyed it. Please drop down and tell me what you thought about this film and what you thought about my review. I look forward to reading you guys' comments. I see you guys for my next video. Bye.